All right, quick and to the point. Oh boy, crickets. Here we go. Starting off in Bastion, we're going to take a slight left and head through this stone door. Once you're inside, go to make a left and we're going to enter the left dungeon. Defeat the crypt spider, defeat the deer mouse revenant. Once you finish those 2 fights, you'll find your first cricket right here in the back of the room. Starting back on Bastion, we're going to make a hard left up this ramp and make our way over to the silent market. Once you're in the silent market, you're going to keep heading directly straight into the first stone door or the middle dungeon. Once you're inside, you can avoid this fight. If you look directly to your right, you'll find your second cricket right here. We're back at the start. We're going to make a hard right this time and make our way to the moon cliffs. If you want, you can use the teleporter on your right to take yourself to the moon cliffs. In this case, I'm just going to take the door. Once you arrive on the moon cliffs, we're going to hug the left side to avoid the mobs. And right here behind this tree in the corner, you'll find your third cricket. We're back at Bastion at the teleporters that I passed earlier. We're going to take the far right one to the last wood. Once you teleport, we're going to make our first left. And then our first right, and you should see a house with a little wooden table outside. Once you enter, go ahead and check the back left corner and you should find your next cricket right here. We're back at the teleporters in Bastion. We're gonna head directly straight into the middle teleporter to Tyrian Gorge. Once you arrive, we're gonna make a right and hug the right side, avoiding these mobs. Head up the ramp and make a right. This time we're gonna hug the hard left side, avoiding these drones. Head up the ramp and make a hard left. You should see a little mine shaft. We're gonna make our way up. As you're heading up the mine shaft, you should see your next cricket right here. All right, you should be noticing a pattern by now. We're gonna take the second left teleporter to Fort Rachias. Once you arrive, we're gonna hug the left side, keeping these devil flower mobs on our right. Make your way through the tunnel and continue to hug the left side. And right here on your left, you'll find your last cricket right here. All right, quick to the point. Iron butterflies. Here we go. Starting at Bastion, we're going to make a right and head up the ramp. And at the top of the ramp, you're going to see all these teleporters. We're going to choose the very hard left one. Once you arrive directly in front of you, you should see the tunnel to Crescent Beach. Make your way through Crescent Beach, avoiding all the mobs. Head down the next ramp and make a diagonal left. And head down this ramp. Continue straight and make a left towards Skull Rock. Once you enter Skull Rock, we're going to make a hard right and you should find your first iron butterfly. Starting at Bastion, we're going to make a hard left, head up the ramp, and make your way to the silent market. Once you arrive, continue forward and make your way up these right set of stairs. Continue straight all the way towards the back, and you'll find Prospector Zeke for the first part of Chrysalis. On your right side, you'll find all these teleporters. I'll be referring to these throughout the rest of the video. Here we go. Starting at the teleporters in the silent market, we're going to take the second to the left teleporter to the ruined Alcazar. Once you arrive, you're going to head forward, and you should see multiple colored teleporters. We're going to enter the green one to the Serpent Island. Once you arrive, wrap around the building behind you and you should find your next iron butterfly. Back at the teleporters in the silent market, we're going to head directly in the middle one to the Sardonyx. Once you arrive, make your left and head down this ramp. Loop around and make a hard left up these stairs and you should see our good old friend Prospector Zeke. We're going to pass Zeke and hug the right side to avoid these mobs. And right here on this little wood railing, you'll find your next iron butterfly. We're back at the teleporters. This time we're going to take the second to the right into the Kondha Desert. Once you arrive, you look directly to your left, you'll find this little tree stump, and right here you'll find your next iron butterfly. For the final butterfly, we're going to take the far right portal to the Hive. Once you arrive, you're going to head down this small ramp, hug the left side to avoid these mobs. Head down the next ramp and hug the right side to avoid these Goliath mobs. Make a right heading down the ramp. You should see the dungeon to the black hole. We're going to loop around that. And right here in the far back, you'll find your final iron butterfly. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this 2-in-1. Up next, we're going to have Polaris. I'll see you guys soon.